Hello, hello, how are you? Welcome. It is July 1st. How are you today? And we are looking at our card of the day. This is the True Crime Tarot channel. And we will be using three decks. I'm going to be using Moonology by Yasmin Boland with artwork by Nyx Rowan. I'm also going to be using Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors card with artwork by Lily Moses, one of my favorite decks. And I'm also using a handmade tarot deck with Gothic imagery. And this was made for me in Lithuania. And some of these are fantasy based and a little bit on, some of them are on the darker side because they're like vampires. So I think that it's a nice choice for my True Crime Tarot channel. So let's jump in, shall we? And let's start with Moonology, because we know many crimes take place by people who are somehow or another affected by the phases of the moon. There is a story about Ed Gein after he was convicted and sent to an institution for the rest of his life, that nurses there stated that he had very bizarre behavior come the full moon. So let's see what Spirit has in store, what messages are available to us from Moonology Oracle deck. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective today? What message do you have for the collective? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And today we will be looking right here. Our message is the full moon. Full moon. Surrender to the divine. Surrender to the divine. I got that all twisted. Let me get this straight for you. The full moon. Look at that beautiful card. Full moon energy. Let the moon be your guide. Full moon. Beautiful card. Beautiful card. The full moon is I don't know if you do full moon rituals. I do. The full moon is a time to release all of that energy that no longer serves you. Surrender to the divine. Let me move this out of the way. And there we go. And here is our message. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change, and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. And I want you to practice this attuning to the moon. You want to say, I am getting the answers I need. Well, hello, Paul Dickinson. Welcome to the stream. And other meanings for this card include a wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air, so breathe deep and stay calm. And you may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. And another meaning of this card is it is time to let go of the past and move on. Surrender to the divine, full moon energy. It's time to let go of the past and move on. And here is the teaching associated with this card. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to the questions asked during the new moon. what am I doing with this card? I want you to be able to see it. I had it off to the side. Sorry. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. So very good. Surrender to the divine. Now we're going to move on to our angels and ancestors oracle cards. Like I said earlier, one of my absolute favorite decks by the wonderful Kyle Gray. Let's give these a shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective today? Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective today? Okay. And today we have Hunter. Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. And again, must I say that the imagery that Spirit is using for my True Crime Tarot channel is just perfect. We start off with the full moon. Let me move it here. We start off with a full moon, and now we're moving on to the Hunter. Okay, so Hunter energy. Let me give you a close-up view of this card. Like I said, these cards are beautiful. Lily Moses artwork. Sparing no attention to detail. Track down your fears and desires. Okay. Let me get that nice and center. Hunter, excuse me, track down your fears and desires. Track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. The Hunter card is based on my favorite Celtic god, Cernunnos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cernunnos, Cernunnos. He is the stag god of the wild and represents both and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. I'm going to have to take a sip and start over. I'm so sorry. The Hunter card is based on my favorite Celtic god, Cernunnos. He is the stag god of the wild and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only thing that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come face to face with them, as the hunter does with wild animals, and go beyond them. Instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You are being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential, but this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are a female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. How wonderful is that? Surrender to the divine. Track down your fears and desires. And now we're going to move on to a message from the tarot. And I don't use reversals. So if a card comes out reversed, I will just turn it around. So thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for my collective today on our True Crime Tarot? Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have? And we have right here, the Devil. How perfect is this? I really, I know I'm saying how perfect is this, right? But let me tell you, okay? So if you know, this channel is part of my Read the Tarot network. And I have multiple channels in the network. And this deck is just a little bit too graphic, a little bit too bloody for me. I tried to use it once on Read the Tarot, and I just couldn't do it because it's like I have angels and spirit guides and flowers and all of this. So I do want my True Crime Tarot to be a little bit more um, the skulls and the blood, and I'm open to that. So I'm working with Spirit, telling Spirit I really want to start this new setup for the channel, and I just love it. I start by talking about Ed Gein and the full moon. Then we get our hunter, where we're hunting down things, tap into that power, and then the devil. So this is just Spirit's way of saying to me, yes, Cherise. Yes, we are going to do this on this channel. The devil. Now, the devil also shows up if we're dealing with addictions, if we're dealing with obsession, if we're dealing with somebody in our life that is bringing toxic negative energy, something that is unhealthy for us. So the devil, when the devil arises, it's a sign to us to be on our guard, to be aware, to be ready to make necessary changes to remove unhealthy energy, unhealthy toxic behaviors, unhealthy habits. And for this to be the card that shows up, my very first tarot card showing up for this to be the True Crime channel is just, perfect for me. It's icing on the cake. But if personally, okay, so if this was a private one-on-one reading and the devil shows up, I'm going to ask you if you're in a bondage situation, if you feel tied down, maybe oppressed against your will, if you're losing your independence, and if you go to my soothsayer a psychic tarot reading channel, because you'll see that channel listed below on YouTube in my channel section. If you go to that channel and look today, we had a lot about today about breaking free and using your power. And Spirit is really on that same theme, only with a different angle for my True Crime Tarot channel. So we want to see, are you allowing yourself to be controlled? Are you addicted? Is something controlling you? It doesn't have to be a person. Is it a substance? Is it a behavior? Is it a habit? Whatever is controlling you, you have the power to break free. And is it your fear? Is this why the Spirit is talking about the hunter? Track down your fears and your desires. Is it your fear that's controlling you? Are you focusing more on physical and material things and not focusing on the things of spirit? Do you have a closed vision? Do you fear spirit? Do you fear the unknown? Some people even fear a wonderful, happy life because they grew up with so much toxic negativity that that's all they see. They can't believe that there's something else out there that's better for them. Um, you know, with the beauty of tarot, we have all these cards that inspire hope, give us faith, give us joy, and just tell us, everything's going to be all right in the end. You are going to have that sun. You are going to finish this process and reach your destination. But when the devil comes in, it brings this horrible feeling of confusion. I'm restricted. There's no hope. There's despair. And, no matter what your belief, most religions around the world do associate this type of behavior with an archetype symbol, whether you believe in a literal devil, literal Satan, literal Lucifer, or just, embrace that archetype energy. The point is the devil is opposite from spirit. spirit is positive and good, and this energy is negative, toxic, and bad, and it is harmful. And we need to address that negative. We need that negative energy. We need to look to the star. When the devil comes, it can show up before death, before changes and transformation, where you still feel a lot of this darkness and gloom. But the star is going to shine. Even through the darkest night, you will have that point of light of the star, where we follow the star, we follow that hope. And then what happens? That star gives way into the sun. And we have that full bright illumination light. So the devil is asking us to look at ourselves, look at our fears, look at our negative behaviors, look for any obsessions, look for anything that is toxic, that's contributing to that negative thinking, and to really lift ourselves up of that despair and move forward. I feel led to draw another card, following the devil. And actually, at this point, I think I'm going to leave the devil here and just do a quick tarot reading on the devil for those. So I'm going to draw one for the past, and I'm going to leave the devil as the present, and one for the future, because I want to address this message from spirit, of breaking free from this toxic energy, of breaking free from doubt, of fear, of lack, of poverty, of sickness, of disease, of death. And, all of the anxiety ridden things that come with that rob us of our lives. So thank you, Spirit. What message of hope do you have for the collective today? For those dealing with oppression, for those dealing with addiction, for those dealing with obsession, for those dealing with doubt and fear and lack. What message of hope do you have for those today? Thank you, Spirit. So I'm going to draw one card now for our past. Thank you, Spirit. And our past card is the Queen of Skeletons, or the Queen of Pentacles. Let me see if you can see that. Holding it up too high. Okay, so this is our past card. That's going to go here next to the devil. And now I'm actually going to shuffle again for our future card. Thank you, Spirit. What message of hope do you have for my collective today? What message of hope do you have for my collective today? What message of hope? And right here we have the Three of Pentacles, Three of Skeletons, Three of Pentacles. So we do have our little story here. Actually, let's do this way, because I'm actually reversed. So first we have our Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Skeletons in our past. And I just love that, right? Queen of Skeletons, right? We're dealing with past. We're dealing with the devil. We're dealing with toxic, negative energy, right? And I'm asking Spirit, what is the story here? What is the message to give hope, right? So we're starting with the Queen of Skeletons, and just right off the bat, I mean, the Queen of Skeletons, it's like the Queen of Pentacles. Very, very interesting for true crime tarot, because how much do we look to our queens, our mother figures, right, as the crux of what has gone wrong in somebody's life, right? And we do see that with a lot of quote unquote serial killers. We see that they trace it back to mom and dad. We see it going back to those early beginnings, but we also see these Queen of Skeletons, right? How many of our serial killers and our criminals are operating from the skeletons in their closet? Look at Ted Bundy, right? They're saying that Ted Bundy really could have been the product of incest, that he was raised with his sister as his mother. So, I mean, of course, when we're looking at that grand scale of evil, magnified, how do we shrink that down to the average person? Okay, well, we still have like small things that contribute to our psyche, and of course, they're not going to be as magnified as with these people, but we still have skeletons in our closet. We still have these toxic behaviors and issues that we've learned in our childhood that we have to navigate and break through. So for the past, for the Queen of Pentacles to be coming through from our past, we really do want to look at where are our fears coming from? Where are our addictions coming from? Are they coming from our early childhood? Is there some shadow work in there that needs to be done, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be healed? And if you're not journaling, please do that now. You want to start with grounding meditations. You want to start with protection. You want to start with shielding, but you also want to start journaling. You want to start keeping a record of what Spirit is drawing to your attention, what Spirit is bringing to you. So a lot of our toxic behaviors that we see in the present, a lot of this devil that's holding, whether it's like an abusive relationship, toxic relationship, drug addiction, we can go back to early childhood and find these types of roots that took hold in our psyche. And we definitely want to address those things. Now, our future card for hope is the Three of Skeletons, or Three of Pentacles. Now, the three is very symbolic because many people, especially in Christian faith, associate three with the Holy Trinity, with Father, Spirit, and God's Son, Jesus. But the Three of Pentacles, Three of Skeletons, is all about teamwork. It's working together with others in a manner that helps you with your health, your emotional well-being, things that are grounded, things that connect you to this planet and this life. We are spirit, but we are also human. Some people say, like, I'm a human being with a soul. No, you are a spirit in a human body. And when you pass away from this body, when this body goes, your spirit continues to live on. And as a psychic medium, I can tell your spirit will come through and communicate. Our Three of Pentacles is dealing with things that are grounded, things that are earthly. We're looking not at spirit, but we're looking at our humanity, our human form. So sometimes to deal with this devil, to deal with this toxic energy, even though, you will address things spiritually, but it's like, you just can't pray addiction away. You can't just pray for these horrible negative things to just go away. You're going to have to do really deep rooted, hard, grounding human work. You're going to have to go to counseling. You're going to have to talk to somebody. You might need a program. And that Three of Pentacles is saying you need a team of grounded, professional type people to help you in this life, not just spirit, because of course you have a beautiful spirit team. Okay. And I'm not saying that Three of Pentacles is not embracing your spirit team of your guardian angels and your ancestors, because of course that's part of it. But the Three of Pentacles is saying that you will need to have earthly grounded relationships with fellow humans that aren't always 100% spiritually minded or focused on spiritual things, to help you address this in a very practical, logical, grassroots, human type way. So there is always hope. And whether it means that you need to handle some sort of addiction and you need counseling, you need therapy, you need treatment, it's absolutely okay. It does not make anybody less spiritual, even if you need some sort of medication to deal with something that you're on. Everybody has skeletons that need to be laid to rest. And everybody has a situation in their life where the devil is taking a foothold in some sort of bondage or another. And it is our responsibility. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to those that we love. And we owe it to those who love us to eradicate the devil and those strongholds and those bondages from our lives when we can. So again, we started with the full moon. We are going to surrender ourselves to the divine. We have the hunter. We're going to hunt down our fears. We're not going to be overcome by fear. We're going to take back power and control over our lives. We're going to address those things from the past that have caused us to have these skeletons in our closet, to have these dark hidden secrets, these shadow areas where the devil has come in, not literally the devil, but as an archetype, where the devil has come in and made a foothold, made a stronghold, made these bondages become secure through addictions, through fear, through toxic behavior, negative thinking, and doubt. And we are going to use not just spiritual means, but practical means to find freedom, to set them free, because this is all about teamwork. It is about getting others to help us to find our healing. So I hope this message blessed you. I want to welcome you to July. And again, if you want to contact me, the information is on the screen. Always email me at readthetarot@gmail.com. Text or phone 727-380-0388. If you're watching from Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all different types of ways to subscribe and follow, like, share, all that good stuff. But please follow, because you're not going to want to miss when I go live. And with True Crime Tarot, we are going to do some psychic mediumship work where we do connect to victims of different crimes. As a psychic medium, I do not engage with any type of lower level negative energy. So therefore, this is not a channel where I'm going to be trying to conjure up serial killers to ask them what motivated them. I find that actually unethical and, quite frankly, disturbing and disgusting. So if there is a higher evolved form of a serial killer or so that comes through, that would be acceptable. My spirit guides are the gatekeepers, and they would let me know that it's okay. But for the majority, and likewise, many victims who have crossed over are in need of rescue work, in need of therapy, and they may not be ready to come through either, but we will take that as it comes. So, and I probably just dumped a lot of a lot of the processes and the bones, I should say, of mediumship to you right there. But I hope you're following along. So our beautiful message is surrender to the divine. You are not without hope. You are not without help. There is help on the spiritual realm. There is help on this physical realm. Whatever addiction, obsession, toxic behaviors that you are struggling with, you are not in bondage. You are not left here on this planet alone without any help. There is help for you. You can overcome. You can succeed. You will set your mind to the things that you want. Set your sight on things that are higher and above, and you will make it. I promise you, you will make it. You have the support that you need. So thank you again for joining me today. God bless you, and read the tarot.